welcome in, Val. Thank you for the head pat. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. I feel like I got up kind of early today. I'm a little bit tired, but I quickly went to go heat up lunch so I wouldn't be hungry throughout the stream. Oh my gosh, do you guys want to see my prepped lunch that I take to work? So, on days that I'm not like super busy or when I feel like doing it, I'll like prep a whole bunch of lunch boxes to go. Like I have those like Tupperwares. And this is usually what I pack. So I pack some type of carb and then a protein. And then I usually will throw frozen vegetables in at the end so that it's, you know, kind of healthy with like fiber and such. So, this is my, oh, it feels kind of cold still. I might need to throw this in for another like minute because this feels quite cold. The vegetables literally came straight from the freezer and then I put it into the microwave, so it might not be super warmed through. But this is usually my lunch, as you can see. So that's 100 grams of rice mixed with quinoa and lentils, like 100 grams of that. 100 grams of cooked salmon, and then I don't measure the vegetables. I just pour it in to equal like the last third. And I figure, you know, that seems like it would be enough. But it's feeling kind of cold. So I'm wondering if I should throw it in for like another, I don't know, like 30 seconds. The other side feels quite warm. Hummus treat, please. Treat for Hermes. He got up right away. He's real fast. Hi, Jihi. Welcome in. It's a treat from Uncle Jihi. Wait, a treat from Uncle Jihi. Oh. Good boy, Hermes. Good boy. Thank you, Jihi, for the treat for Hermes. Oh my gosh, I bought it. I bought the arm pass for $5. I figure I've literally been logging in every day for the past 2 weeks. That's worth it. It's worth it. I've paid for more for less, so in terms of entertainment. So real fast, because the vegetables are still quite frozen. Save the gems to blast it all away. Dude, I'm so worried because people are saying the rerun for Caleb Smith is really strong, and then they're saying there's gonna be a multi-banner next after that, and then they're saying Caleb Smith is coming out. So I'm like, there's like so many things going on, and I don't know what to focus on, how much money I'm gonna spend, if it'll be like worth it. But real fast, the food is still cold and I can't eat it, so I'm gonna go heat up the rest of the veggies to make sure that it's like warmed through at least, because I think they're still frozen. So give me 1 second. It'll be like maybe 2 minutes. Okay, BRB, you guys. Enjoy Hermes. Oh, this is my lunch. This is my packed lunch. This is what I packed for work lunches. 100 grams of rice mixed with lentils, and then 100 grams of protein. So today's protein, or well, this week's protein is salmon. And then I just throw in frozen vegetables from like the Costco mix. So this has peas, green beans, carrots, and corn. So this is usually like what I bring to work for lunch. It's super easy. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go reheat this. Oh, sorry guys. been working out. I literally started yesterday. Because I got the Roku TV stick, streaming stick. I got it plugged in to my TV, and I did, guys, I tried so hard to follow this calendar that like Casey from Wagalati's put out. I got through the warm-up video and that was like, okay, that's enough for me. It was like 10 minutes of body warm-ups, and then I was like, you know what? If I end it here, it's gonna be better than not doing anything. So, and like today, my legs are burning. Like, because it was a lot of like planking and squatting and lunging, and dude, my thighs are so fucking sore. Every time I go from standing up to sitting down or sitting down to standing up, I fucking feel it in my legs, dude. I'm probably gonna do another one after stream today. We'll see if I can get through an actual workout video. It's morning time, Evangeline. Sarah, I don't have a middle name. Stop asking me about that. Listen, you tried. It's true. Paz, thank you for streaking in chat. Behold, casual streaking. It's also bathroom cleaning day, and I hate bathroom cleaning day because I don't do it enough. I recently cleaned the bathroom. I scrubbed the toilet and wiped down all of the surfaces. I also hate bathroom cleaning day. It's the worst. But here, observe my work lunches. I have leftovers for days, so this is what I bring to work. I'm like, are you guys the kind of person who can eat the same thing every day, or like you have to have variety? Corone played Jump King yesterday. Oh my gosh, I need to catch that. That sounds so fun. I love Corone. She's my fave Hololive girl. After stream, Princess will need to prove that veggies were consumed. I'm consuming them right now. Wait, she got the babe? Was it her first time trying? Was it her first time trying, or had she played before and was like restarting that run? Or like continuing from that run? I mean, I'm sure I'll see, but from the beginning. Wow, she did it all in one stream? Oh my god, what a gamer. You know, I hate eating vegetables, so it's the first thing I eat on my plate. Are you guys freaks like me, or do you guys eat like normal? How do you usually eat your food? Are you like try to get everything into every bite person, or do you eat your food in zones? Can your food touch? Obviously my food can touch, I don't care. But I know some people don't like pieces of other foods touching. Start with the veg usually. Okay, so you're a freak like me. I see you, Beetleian. This is an important question, because it's like, if there's veggies, I eat it in conjunction with the bit I like. So you space out your like... Wait, do you like veggies? or no? Because it seems like maybe you're trying to make the vegetables taste better by eating it with something you like. I don't, but want to get it over with. Ah, yeah. Same, me too. You know, I actually don't mind corn and green beans. Corn and green beans are fine. What I hate are carrots, mostly. And then I don't like peas, because sometimes peas can be really dry. And I hate how chalky they get. Take them or leave them really depends on the veggie. But I do it partly as a tasting. That makes sense. We're ideologically opposed. I love peas. Okay, but like, haven't you ever had like a dry chalky pea? That's why I hate peas. See? We have now moved on to the protein and vegetables. Don't worry, I will eat the peas for you. You can have all the peas. I will not fight you on that. Sometimes I just eat a bowl of peas like a Sims character. That's disgusting. Oh my god, yesterday, for dinner, we made dumplings! They were so good. And like, I think for the first time, we had dumplings that like, were good steamed. Because we always try to steam a few of the dumplings. And like, sometimes they're okay, and sometimes they're just mid, you know? But yesterday, they were actually so good steamed that the majority of the dumplings I ate were steamed. Very yummy. Did you guys have lunch yet? And if you did, or you are having lunch, what are you eating? What did you eat? I think I have like 2 more of these like salmon lunch packs. I need to eat them because I got the salmon like on Tuesday, I want to say. I cooked it Tuesday night, so it's like getting to the end of like, it's gonna be okay to eat in the fridge. I think I can push it 6 days, but that's really like, that's really pushing it. Maybe I can like shred it and put it in soup or something. Oh, you know what? Ooh, I might do that tonight. I'll take the salmon and I'll put it in like one of the stone pots that I have, and I'll like fry it with some kimchi and some oil, and then make like a soup, like a kimchi salmon soup, and then I'll have it with the protein on the side. Or not protein, I'll have it with the rice on the side. Lunch equals leftovers usually. I prepped like, on Tuesday night, I prepped like 6 of these boxes. So, because I'm like, I literally, during my day-to-day, go to work, I come home, I barely have enough time to eat, which is why I pushed my stream starting time in the evenings from 6 to 6:30 so I could sit down and eat. But like I don't have a lot of time to cook. And then I'm streaming until like 9 or 10. And then I'm recording and editing late at night, so literally during my usual week schedule, there's no time for me to cook. The only time I do it is like at 1 a.m. in the morning when I'm finally done with all of my stuff. Or I save it for the weekends on like Saturday and Sunday when I can like go to Costco and get like rotisserie chicken or whatever. So it's nice to be able to just make a large batch and then divvy it up so I don't even have to think about like measuring anything. Like that's all been done for me by Past Princess, and all I need to worry about is heating it up, sitting down, eating it, and then moving on with my day. Just make sure I have all the nutrients that I need to survive. You know, we got some carbs, we got some fiber, we got some protein. Is fiber usually carbs? I feel like fiber is in a lot of vegetables, but are vegetables usually carb heavy? No, right? Okay, I finished. Okay. Sorry for the delay. I literally have my manager meetings with Yam before this, and then I was busy like moving stuff over, so a lot of things I have to like update for my streaming setup. But it's all like back-end stuff, so it's like redoing my alerts and moving them from Streamlabs to Stream Elements, because I, you know, probably at this point should move everything over. And I think it's just gonna take some time for me, but you guys are not gonna see any changes. Oh, there will be one thing. I think it'll be okay on Wednesday, but my friend is moving our dinners on Wednesdays to Sundays. Our first week, she won't be available tomorrow, so I won't be streaming on Monday, but this week on Wednesday, I'm gonna try something new. We're gonna try vertical streaming on YouTube and Twitch, if Twitch will allow me. So you might see me a little different. It's just gonna be like a super quick, casual, like, let's do a few karaoke songs on Wednesday. It'll be like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, but like not much longer than that. And then I think on Wednesdays, I'm gonna save that for vertical streaming, because are the changes so you can earn the monies on YouTube? No, so I already earn money for my ASMR channel. I'm not super concerned about earning money for my VTuber channel. What I do want to test though is my reach. YouTube is changing things up. I think you guys, if you guys have been on YouTube, I think you'll know, they've been pushing shorts a lot, and like they've been trying to push a lot of things on mobile. So they want to push more vertical live streams, I think is what they're trying to do. So Yam was letting me know about all this, and she was like, well, if you want, you know, you can test this out for yourself and see if you get more followers, see if there's more engagement. So in addition to all of the like back-end changes in OBS for like the scenes and stuff, We're gonna try vertical live streaming. So you might see that on Twitch, but definitely over on YouTube for sure. And on YouTube, it sucks, but I'm gonna ask you guys to do it. If you guys see my videos pop up on your feed, you don't have to like go look for my videos. I would hate for you to do that. But if it pops up, if you don't mind like hitting the share button, but you don't even have to post a link. Because apparently they're like trying to track who's engaged in the content. If you can leave a comment, that's great, but like if anything, just hit share. You don't even have to copy or post a link anywhere. Just hitting the share button I think is enough to tell the YouTube algorithm, hey, this is something that I find interesting, I would like more people to see it. Lots of shorts. I thought it was because of the AI stuff they were adding to shorts, and I was like, boo, no AI, boo. Yeah, I like, as much as possible, want to distinguish myself from like AI. The other thing that Yam and I are gonna try to do for both my ASMR and my regular VTuber channel on YouTube is posting in the community page more, because YouTube wants to push community. They want to be like a Discord, Twitter situation, but for YouTube. So we gotta play the YouTube game. So I will be trying to dedicate more time to putting together posts, and like they'll probably be scheduled. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm probably gonna sit down for like maybe half an hour to an hour on any given weeknight and just like make a whole bunch of posts and schedule them out. But if you guys see that, please, if you can, leave a comment or engage with the post in some way. I think that would help out a lot. That's all the updates I think I have for right now. Yes. Okay. I think ads are gonna start soon. When ads start, I'm just gonna go on my BRB screen. And then after that, we shall start the stream, like properly. Okay. Yeah, for so long ads came. Yeah. I'm trying to like do more just of the regular cycling ads so that new people coming in won't get ads on my channel. I always forget to manually run them, so I'm trying a new thing where they will automatically run. I'll just have to like pause stream every now and again if ads are running. So sorry guys, I know it's a big change. I do see ads, so let's real quick run to BRB screen, and then when we are back, we'll actually be back in like the gaming screen. Okay, BRB you guys, go get some water, walk around. All right, and we are back. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you guys for letting me yap your ears off for half an hour. You know, show's a real homie. She's like, you know what? I get it. You want more money? You got it. I'll sit through ads. Dude, one of the things that pisses me off the most when I see people comment shit on YouTube, I think I've like ranted to you guys about this before, but it's when people are literally like, ugh, like I loved your ASMR video, but like, do you have to run an ad every like 5 minutes? And I'm literally, I'm this close to being like, leave. Fucking leave. Because like, I've explained it to people before where I'm like, well, I run the ads because I would like to get some form of income from the videos that I, you know, spend so much time, like, because it takes time, you know, like I have to record it for however long the video is, you know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm recording for that amount of time plus all the extra time that I'm flubbing lines, you know? And then that takes me another hour to 2 hours to edit one script depending on how intense the sound effects are. I'm literally like, I do all that for literally pennies. You know, I maybe work on YouTube stuff for anywhere from 15 to 20 hours a month. And I get paid like $100 a month from YouTube. So it's like pennies. It's still a good amount of, it's hamburger money coming in, right? But I use that money to like buy more assets, like more thumbnail art and stuff. And when people say that, I'm like, I have a $5 Patreon tier where you can listen ad-free. I also know YouTube Premium is a thing. And here's how I know you're fucking stupid. Is ad block is a thing, and if you wanted to, you could find ad block to just download it, you know? I don't know if it's a hot take, but you can only be mad at ads within YouTube videos if it's shorter than 10 minutes. Yeah, for sure. But it just makes me so mad because it's like, come on, you know, like, be so for real. Like, I do all this and I do want to, you know, make some money from it so that I can put back into it, because my full-time job is not enough to buy all of the fancy equipment. Like, my regular job is meant to support me living as a human being. I'm not even thriving, okay? Living. Surviving, okay? If I want any fun money that comes from, you know, content creation and like any extra thing that I can get out of content creation. But most of the time, that fun money goes back into investing into content creation because that's my fun, okay? So like, if you're complaining about ads, shut the fuck up and leave, because they're always like, I know other VTuber ASMR artists who don't put ads on their video. They're always trying to complain with me, and I'm like, okay, it seems like maybe this isn't the space for you, and maybe you should go, you know, like, watch videos of creators who more align with what you're expecting from YouTube videos. And I'm just like, I'm trying to be so nice. I'm trying to put on my customer service hat, but like inside I'm literally boiling. Like, okay, go walk around for 3 minutes. Like, fuck you. Action, hello, welcome in. Go there. Yeah, exactly. Literally in the nicest words, I'm like, I'm sure those other creators appreciate your support. And it will be so sad to see you go, but you know, I understand. I understand that, you know, you're not you know, open to viewing ads to support my content, and that's okay. I don't need you. Anyways, okay, sorry. Let's actually get into the game now. Enough yapping, let's get into the game. I'm going into this trial, my trial, with a lot less ammunition than I'd like. I'm beginning to form a picture of what actually happened. Maybe even circling the drain on a suspect. But Emma won't be generous enough to give me breathing room. She'll want to end this fast. As a person who also has to use customer service voice all the time, the threat of leaving or someone else is better is so funny. Do I look like I care if you stay? Yeah, it's like, do I care about someone who won't support my content to even sit through ads? Like, there are plenty of other people who know that this is just how it is, and they're just gonna sit through it, or they're gonna install ad blocker, or they have YouTube Premium, or they support me on Patreon. And like, that's the kind of viewer base that I want to foster, you know? Not someone who's entitled to my content for free. So like, yeah, please show yourself out. Take out the trash for me while you're at it, you know? Maybe if I do badly enough, it'll flip her sadistic switch and she'll want to keep playing. So, you got charged with owning an AI. The first time you do something exciting in your whole life. And I gotta find out through the freaking grapevine. My life is plenty exciting. Freckles. Oh, let me move over. And move Hermes up here. Freckles, you could bore the polish off a resume checking robot. Fucked. Is it just fucked? Is it the F word? I fucked Catholic school teachers with more active night lives than you. I can't do anything. Oh, okay. So, who'd you rope in? Anyone I know? Oh, shit. Are you representing yourself? It's within my budget. Screw your budget. You're going to jail. Thanks for the vote of confidence. It ain't a matter of how good a lawyer you are. Anyone who represents themselves in court has a fool for counsel. You represented yourself countless times. Not for anything I had a chance of losing. Your pal hasn't even been dead 48 hours. You're too close to this. You'll make mistakes. The powers that be really didn't want to give me a rain check. They're taking this very seriously. It's more dangerous than that. They're scared. Is there precedent? An ad committing murder? How'd you pass law school without learning how to look this stuff up? I know what the net says. I'm asking you. The answer to that is not helpful to you at the moment. So what words of advice do you have? Get yourself a new lawyer. Gonna close this chat now. Don't lose, Freckles. You don't need to tell me that. What are you reading, Adonai? I was reading David's employment contract with Noble Electronics before I got waylaid by spam texts. The one we found inside the panic room. It looks quite extensive. Should I skim it for you? Depends. Did you pass the bar exam since we last spoke? You comfortable? I am not. Ever seen that old movie with the gorilla and the skyscraper? They bring it to the city and... I understand the analogy, Adonai. I wish I could call it overkill. But considering the specs SERRA put up yesterday, maybe those buildings aren't heavy enough. Bindings! Come to think of it, those numbers must have been faked along with the rest of what the machine read. If that was all a smokescreen David added to help her lay low, then her actual strength is more like... If your joints weren't currently locked up tighter than a vice, do you think you could escape this place? I hope that question is not indicative of your strategy. This is me trying to distract you, SERRA. Enjoy the hypothetical. I would estimate that the building's automated security would put 9 holes in me before I reached that door. 9's not so bad. I would not be able to function after the 7th. Ah. Well, if you haven't been planning some great escape, I would not do that. That would be illegal. And you would still be on trial. I remember. So what have you been doing all day then? I am attempting to recover memories from Friday. You can do that? It is not dissimilar from the process of recovering data erased from any other computer, despite the difference in scale. I won't be able to remember everything, but if successful, I could recall individual pieces of information that could prove useful. That's a lot of coulds. And even if you're successful, you may not like what you find. Whatever happened that day, either you or David wanted you to forget it. Yes, but even so, I have to remember. Because it's the last day that Father and I... Any luck so far then? I can recall a slightly musty scent. Wow, case closed! What about you, Adonai? Have you formulated a plan for the trial's proceedings? Something like that. Jung insists that serotonin isn't what killed David. I don't buy it. There's no other explanation for how he died. So she is lying. And if she repeats that lie on the stand, I'll need to expose it. Somehow. Somehow. Would she really commit perjury to protect Noble? To protect one of Noble's patents? She doesn't strike me as quite the corporate zealot she makes herself out to be. But you believe that she had something to do with Father's death. What do you think? I don't know. I don't know why anyone would kill Father. Considering the possible consequences of what he confessed to in his journal, I can think of. But then again, I don't understand why anyone would kill anyone. Do you? That's a crazy question to ask her. Bells tolling for thee. Means that the doors in the courtroom are unlocked. Let's... Wait, can you walk like that? Waddle will have to do. Wait a second. Across the hall, that's... Keep waddling, Sarah. I'll catch up. As you say, Adonai. This'll be a coin toss. You that surprised to see me? I'm not surprised you'd want to see the outcome of this trial. I am surprised you'd want to talk to me. You're defending the android, right? Save, 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 save! Gumi, welcome in! Thank you for the toy bone. How are you? Welcome, welcome! Happy Saturday! You missed the Yap Sesh! It's okay. We had our lunch and we chatted a bit, and now we're playing video games. Welcome in, Duo. Be honest. Happy weekend! Yeah, I'm defending Sarah's innocence. I don't think she killed David. That's so much softer than my bone. Oh, what kind of bone do you have? I need to change. I need to move everything over to Waterdough because the regular streams I run are through VTuber Plus. But I want to change it over to Waterdough, so I'm only using one program. But that means I have to find all the props. And some of these props were from VTuber Plus, you know, so I need to I need to find different props and sound effects now. Sun, welcome in. Hello, hello. How are you? Have you guys eaten lunch yet? What do you guys have? Do you? I don't think. Another lingerie stream. We're gonna have another Love and Deep Space stream tomorrow. Oh my god, I'm so excited, you guys. We're gonna do prologue to tomorrow and then homecoming wings. We're gonna properly do the right order tomorrow, so I'm super excited. Leftover Hawaiian pizza? Oh my gosh, love leftover pizza. And Hawaiian pizza especially. I just find any 3D models and turn them into props. Oh, maybe I should ask you how you do that. I don't know how to do that. Like, do you just like find like, oh, I don't even know what the file names are, like an FBX, OBJ? Fuck if I know what any of those mean. I know that's what 3D model files are, right? I'm sure there's like one other one I might be forgetting, but man, I don't know. FBX. Oh, like what is the difference? Whether it was a pen stroke or a sleeper agent, killer android, or plain old goddamn arsenic, how could anyone that smart be that dumb? Why the hell did he ever sign his soul over to them? David may have been in over his head, but he wasn't a bad negotiator. I've read his contract. His position was strong. You're the lawyer. But a guy like me working in music? Can't tell you how many people I've seen screwed over by a big smile and a fat signing bonus. No such thing as corporate generosity. If you think you're getting a good deal, it's only because you don't know how much you just sold. How much you just sold. David's real wealth lay in his intellectual property. The potential energy of it hanging over the whole industry. If he sued even 1% of the companies taking inspiration from his Turing solution, there's a clause in his contract. If Noble ever did fire David, he would have retained control over all his patents afterwards. Yeah, see, that sounds nice, only they never did fire him, did they? He just happened to die. An unforeseeable act of God. In contract law, they call that force majeure. I see. That's why they needed him gone and not fired. I said, did you find anything interesting in the contract, Adonai? A few things, yeah. Basically, David was well taken care of so long as they kept him around. And he'd retain control of his patents even after being let go. But what Porter said. Logically, if David were to pass while still employed, Noble would continue to control the bulk of his IP. So if they knew David was going to leave in a year, it would be very foolish of them to let Father go. Well, they wouldn't do it for no reason. With this contract, he could only be fired for serious offenses, corporate malfeasance, revealing trade secrets, fraud. Father was not a fraud. He was, as they say, the greatest of all time. Fraud just means you're lying to the company about something, Sarah. Binder containing the full text of David Asher's employment contract with Noble Electronics details the terms of his employment, including the following. David would keep ownership of his patents if terminated. David couldn't be terminated without serious cause. Serious cause includes only fraud or worse. Fraud defined as manipulating company data, not a light read. Oh, eyes up, showtime! Counselor Morgan, the state charges you with possession of contraband. Contraband? That would be you. In violation of the Safeguarding Our National Digital Security Act. How do you plead? Not guilty. Muttering. Very well. Since it seems we are in fact doing this, I'll now turn over the administration of this trial to the adjutant. But be warned, any attempts at stalling or muddling the issue, and I'll step right in and override the trial myself. Summary judgment, siding with the people. Are we understood? Yes, Your Honor. Are we going to have the same adjutant as we had before? No way. Each courthouse only has so many bodies, but the personalities swap around all the time. So the chances of us dealing with the same glitchy mess as yesterday are... Glad to be back. Did y'all miss me? Forget I said anything. I'll just go crawl under a rock and die while you make your opening statements. The defendant is the owner of the android registered under the model name SERRA with license number 1209280. She hasn't contested this, and I doubt she will. So the question of ownership is already answered. All that remains is to determine whether SERRA qualifies as contraband. It's a charming android, incredibly well made, a masterpiece and the last known work of a great man. But when we look at the evidence and the facts surrounding the death of Dr. David Asher, we're forced to conclude that said android is responsible for his death, and that conclusion carries very serious implications. I will prove here in court today that the machine standing there killed David Asher. Not through an accident or a mismanaged dosage, but through an intentional poisoning. I won't ask the court to judge this machine on its apparent sentience, its range of emotions, or the free will it may or may not possess. I only ask that the court judge this creation on what we will prove it to be more than capable of. Patricide. Oof, wouldn't want to have to follow that act. But go for it anyway, defense. Your Honor, what the DA said is true. What did she say? Did she just admit it? Sorry, just the first part. This android is charming, and it is the work of a great man. The rest of it was pure speculation based on little more than a few bad camera angles and a phobia of anything new. I do own the android you see here. It was bequeathed to me by a man known to most as the people in this courtroom as the father of modern machine intelligence. To me, he was just my friend, and if I thought at any point that this puppet had anything to do with his death, I would have dragged it to the chopping block myself. But I don't believe that. I never have. SERRA is an android, nothing more. It isn't capable of homicide, and it didn't even commit manslaughter. It's just a well-made machine. Any fears one has about its capabilities are projections, nothing more. And it troubles me greatly that the state is spending valuable time and resources on rushing to pulverize Dr. Asher's last known work, when it could be going after the very real, very human forces that were responsible for his death. Is she serious? Is she talking about Noble? The people can't prove that SERRA is an AI. And truth be told, I can't prove that it isn't. But I can prove that it's not guilty. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Chills. You sounded very confident, Adonai. Yeah, well, no one ever got good at lying by being modest. You could have simply said thank you. Thank you for your presence here today, Detective London. In light of the new evidence, I'd like to go over the death of Dr. Asher one more time. What happened Friday night? At 6:30 p.m., David Asher spoke on the phone with his lover, and the two of them broke things off. Lover? It's an accurate description of their relationship, isn't it? I wouldn't know, that stuff's private. As an I. Then, the deceased met with Noble VP Helen Jung in his parlor starting around 7:30 p.m. He then left the parlor and the sight lines of his home security system before reappearing on his private secondary security system in his basement moments later. At which point, The android SERRA can be seen handing him the poison he'd go on to drink. And do you see that android in the courtroom? Yeah, she's the green-haired one that's frowning at me. Let the record show that the android SERRA has been identified at the scene of the crime. No objections. None? Then why'd I even show up? Detective London, what happened next? Asher went upstairs and shared a drink with Miss Jung. Within a few minutes, he was being airlifted to the hospital, where he was soon declared dead. We know that the poison could be produced by his nanofacturer, which SERRA had access to just up the stairs in his workshop. So, SERRA had ample opportunity to procure the poison, and SERRA handled Dr. Asher's cup immediately before he did. Is there a question in that statement, Your Honor? I'll rephrase. Was anyone else seen handling Dr. Asher's cup before he died? No. I have no further questions. So that's your witness, counselor. He wasn't lying per se, but there was some ambiguity in the statement he gave. Okay, let's pause and save. Let's just save over here. Truth's gotta come out one way or another. If Emma won't push, I'll have to pull. Talk screen, basement footage, whiskey. I forgot this mechanic already. But briefly, he went downstairs to get drinks for them. Cameras in the basement show SERRA handing him the cups and the whiskey. Back to the parlor and started drinking. It wasn't long until he lost consciousness. Drinking poison whiskey while he thought he was having a toast. Don't know if that's a good way or a bad way to go out. I heard a slight slip up in there. Could go nowhere, but at this stage, I need to pick at every loose thread I can. Was it this one here? I don't think that's right. No, I don't understand! This thing goes way too fast! Hold on. Okay, that's not right. Load. Okay, so we have the talk screen, basement footage, and whiskey. Okay. What? Cameras in the basement show SERRA. Okay. Talks. This one here. Okay. Check that footage again, Detective London. We only see SERRA handing the victim a cup. He had already retrieved the whiskey himself. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Detective London just wasn't being specific enough, Your Honor, but it matters little since it was David's cup, not the whiskey bottle that was poisoned. A weird flex, but okay. And that undeniable fact is shown clearly in the security footage. SERRA hands him a cup after he was ready to leave. True, she did call David back. And handed him a cup of poison? Raise. If the cup was already poisoned, don't you think David would have noticed it wasn't empty? Well, not necessarily. The lethal dose could have been quite small. If it were just a droplet, he could have easily overlooked it. For SERRA, this crime was very simple. There was too little to plan for anything to go wrong. Once she handed it off, she just had to wait for him to drink from the cup. Is that all she'd have needed to do? Raise, because she doesn't know what cup David was gonna pour for himself. Not a great plan if that really was SERRA's move. She gave him 2 cups. How could she have known which cup David would drink from? There are a few ways to go about it, but it's only a 50-50 shot, counselor. Stranger things have happened. There was no way to know the right cup. Don't try and bluff me, Rockford. There was no difference between the cups. It's not a bluff. SERRA handed the cups to him in one stack, with the poison hidden in the bottom cup. She knew David was courteous. No! Redo! 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 We're losing so many! Dang, okay. See, okay. I got it, okay. So... this one, call. And then we don't press on the last one. Okay. Raise. Wasn't enough to poison David. Stay. I suppose I have to concede that. Indeed. By handing the cups to him nested, she could also hide the droplet of poison up until the point he was already pouring. Let's save. Sarah knew David to be a polite man, so she could predict that he'd use the first cup for his guest and the second for himself. This murder hinged on taking calculated advantage of Dr. Asher's kindness. Figures an android would never leave it to chance. Why'd I still lose? She was luring me in there, an explanation ready to pounce. But I backed off early enough to not lose a whole limb to her bear trap. Now, there are some questions you'd like to ask the detective. Are there some questions you'd like to ask the detective while he's available? Or are you done already? I was just about to get started. Even if I didn't have questions, I'd make them up just to spite you at this point. But I can do better than that. Now, what can I get London to say that would help my case? Shall we save? I'm gonna save at the top. Tenant technicalities. Maybe Sarah in... MD, thank you for the resubscribe! Welcome in. It's almost been 3 years. Detective London. In their capacity as assistants to the police force, are androids ever asked to commit acts of violence? Yeah, I guess so. They can push people, restrain them, harm them. And does that constitute a violation of their tenets, harming the people they're supposed to protect? Well, as I understand it, there might be some complex weighting math that goes into it, but no, it's not breaking any tenets. For that to be the case, they'd have to be tenet 1, right? May not injure or through inaction lead to blah blah blah. Yes, I suppose that would have to be the case, wouldn't it? Are you asking me? Far outside his expertise, asking these kind of technical questions accomplishes nothing other than making us both look dumb to the jury. Okay. Reload. Ad involved crime. Detective, do you know how many violent incidents the city's police have investigated in the last year? Not the exact number. Thousands, though. Yeah, around there. And of those thousands of incidents of violence, do you know how many of them were found to be the fault of automated dependents? I believe there's been 6 in the last 5 years. Were all 6 of them incidents of police licensed ad involved brutality? Relevance, Your Honor? Withdrawn. How many tenants protect humans? Press. As an aside, detective, do you know how many tenants are recognized in this country? 110? 112 as of this year. Couldn't you have given me that one? Do you know how many of those tenets pertain to protecting humans from harm? That one I do know. 41. And lastly, detective, how many times in the last, say, century have we seen automated dependents break their tenets? 5 times is the agreed upon number.
So, if you were to tally that all up and try and make an evaluation as a police officer charged with protecting civilians, overall, you would say that automated dependents in general are how dangerous to the public? The witness is not an expert on automated dependents, Your Honor. He's more than qualified to say whether they have a history of violence, Your Honor. Ah, what the heck? Let him answer. I would have to say that they are not dangerous. Normally, that would have bought me some doubt with the jury, but this isn't a traditional trial. At least I can say that I shored up my own confidence. SERRA in the footage. Detective, in the footage we just saw, could you see what SERRA was doing? Not exactly. No, her back was to the camera and her hands were obscured. Could you see her hands from any other clip of camera footage retrieved from the basement? No. Did you or anyone else participating in the investigation ever see SERRA put anything into David Asher's cup? No, the footage submitted to the record is the best available view of what happened. Stay. We're at 21. Alright, seems like that's as close as I'm gonna get to... Blackjack! I believe I've made my point. I have no more questions for this witness, Your Honor. Then, we can move on to the next item on the docket! Looks like Emma wants to introduce some new evidence. Save! I call SERRA to the stand. The android? Can she even do it? Approach, Your Honor? You're approaching me? I believe that it's me they wanted to speak with. I didn't even get to finish my line. Now then, what the hell are you doing, Rockford? Took the words right out of my mouth. I have questions for the android. This seemed like the best way to get answers. You can't call an android as a witness. It's not a person. There's plenty of precedents for it, and provide testimony all the time. Not when they're on trial. SERRA isn't on trial, you are. SERRA's accused of being an AI. That means you don't trust a word out of its mouth. If the witness isn't to be trusted, the court can decide that for itself after hearing their testimony. Why the ambush? Why'd you list this as entering evidence, D.A. Rockford? Only people can be witnesses, Your Honor, and ads don't have legal personhood. Evidence seemed like the best word descriptor. You know I can't make an android swear an oath. Rockford is just trying to spoil your opinion, Your Honor. The more this court treats SERRA like a person, the more you'll see her as human, and the weaker my case becomes in your eyes. Nice try, counselor. But we don't have time to worry about my impartiality. You're free to call for a mistrial if you want, but the state will have turned SERRA to slag before you even finish signing your motion. Rockford's calling a witness that is blatantly hostile to her case. If the witness is hostile, so be it. It did kill a man after all. Allegedly. What about the right to avoid self-incrimination? Who's the one treating SERRA like a person now? Androids don't have rights. Damn it, that's... The android will take the stand. Your Honor! I've made my decision. And if SERRA refuses to take the stand, are you going to charge it with contempt of court? If the machine won't talk, you'll make every effort as its owner to ensure that it does. And if it disobeys you, then we'll have our answer about its sentience right then and there. Wow, backed into a corner! Yes, Your Honor. Shit. What's going on? The DA is going to question you on the stand. What? But I shouldn't. Listen to me. You don't have a choice right now. This is happening. Tell the truth, but be concise. The more robotic, the better. Yes or no's only, if you can. Would using affirmative and negative be laying it on... Or, sorry, not SERRA's voice. Would using affirmative or negative be laying it on too thick? But Adonai, if I make a mistake, all these people, they want to destroy me. If you make a mistake, your lawyer will just have to cover for you, understand? Yes. You are the android identified as Sarah, correct? Yeah, affirmative. Do you deny that this camera footage shows you handling the poisoned cup? Objection! It remains to be seen whether the cup itself was definitively poisoned. Yes. Sarah, do you deny handling that cup? Handing that cup to David Asher? Negative? I have no memory of the incident, so I can neither confirm nor deny it. Do you have any reasoning, any excuse for your actions, for failing to notify police of crucial information? I do not have any records from that day, so I never had anything to tell anyone. Very well, counselor? The journal, if you will. This could be slaughter. Of course. Do you recognize this item? It's a journal that belongs to Dr. David Asher. I have seen him write in it on many occasions. And have you any knowledge of its contents? Negative. You don't have to answer that, actually. Tell the court what you see here in this footage. I see myself reading the journal in the basement. This footage was captured on Friday, the day you claim to have no memory of. So regardless of what you do or don't remember, we know that you read this journal hours before David Asher died. That is logical. I'd like you to read some passages from it for the court. Can you do that? Of course. Page 238, the 10th line. Sarah is growing faster than I ever expected, beyond my wildest dreams or fears. Today she... Continue, please. Today she broke every password I have in the house. Said she was curious. I can't expect to keep things from her forever. Page 251, line 12. I've gravely underestimated the scope of things. Sarah could change everything, and I don't think I could stop her. He wasn't... Page 263. Damn it. This keeps up. Sarah's going to fall to pieces up there. Do I have anything to raise? I gotta, right? Badgering, Your Honor. Badgering what witness, counselor? I'm making the android do some simple tasks. No! Load game! I don't have a leg to stand on here, and Sarah doesn't have a shred of legal protection to speak of. I have to just let this play out. Page 263, I said. Save scum for the win! Woo! It's true. I think Sarah was angry today. When I came back from work, she had ripped a sin alloy plate in half. She said she was testing her strength, but the cameras... That was... Page 267. Sarah scared me today. If she starts bawling on the stand, it's all over. Your Honor, I fail to see the value in continuing this line of questioning. Dr. Asher was wary of a highly experimental android he was building, as any good scientist would be. That's been established. Do the people have a counter-argument? I just have one last question, if it pleases the court. Let's hear it. This footage was captured in the basement on Friday at around 5:30 p.m. Tell the court what you see. I see myself, standing where I was when I read the journal. I'm speaking to someone who's off camera, and I appear agitated, and I stomp my foot. And what happens to the floor after you stomp your foot? A large crack is made in the vulcanized polymer, and I walk off camera towards whomever I had been speaking to. Speaking or shouting? Ask asked and answered. Not really, but I'll withdraw the comment nonetheless. Your witness, counselor, or evidence if you prefer. Damn, I knew she would cherry pick all the worst passages from the journal, but still, if Barrows wasn't wavering before, should I try to have Sarah read the mushy parts? No, the waterworks would start only after a few lines. Emma went to all that trouble to show how emotionally developed Sarah is. Proving that she loved David like a father would be playing right into her hand. What do you say, counselor? Got some burning cues for the android to answer? Yes, Your Honor, just one moment. Emma went for emotion and the impact was devastating. So all I can do is focus on the facts, so let's flip this around. Say Sarah absolutely didn't poison David. If that's the case, why did she call him back on the way out of the basement? Wait, that's... I'd actually like to ask you to read from the journal again, Sarah. You would? From where? From the section that explains what you were actually trying to do that night. The section of his journal detailing... I don't know. His early career? Look around the early section. There should be an entry talking about an early victory at Noble. Relevance? The people will see in just one moment that this story is the key to this entire case. Got approval from overseas. Have to make pitch again this week, Jung says. Brought me a stack of plastic cups. Here's to a bright future together. And then on this next page, another victory for the young and sleepless. Helen convinced the president of Futures over lunch that my code should be the basis for the Animate 13's conversational tracking. She insisted on toasting the same crappy booze and the same cheap cups. Wants to make a tradition. Plastic cups and liquor. A ritual between Helen Jung and David Asher, who were about to have a drink together Friday night. Something you want to say, counselor? Let's put all the cards on the table, shall we? You want to compare theories? If you'd rather I end this now, I'll be happy to oblige. Here's what we know. Sarah read that journal and discovered what she was. It infuriated her, and she wanted revenge for being kept under her maker's thumb. That very night, she got her chance when Dr. Asher came down looking for a drink. So like the clever little helper she is, she offered him a cup to drink out of. We're completely in agreement on all that. So, you also agree that the cup was poisoned and that Sarah's responsible for his death. Not quite. It's not a bad explanation, Miss Rockford, but it is terribly complex. There's a much simpler reasoning for why Sarah did what she did. Jung's story. The story from the journal? You're saying Sarah wasn't planning anything. She was just being considerate. That's so sweet, but I don't follow it like at all. It's actually quite simple. Sarah's not an AI. She only threw a tantrum that day because she found out she was being spied on. A realistic reaction for an android designed to be realistic. David Asher set her memory to be cleared himself because he wanted to preserve the experiment he was running. Sarah didn't hatch a plan to poison him using an obscure chemical acquired from the lab, and she didn't suddenly manipulate David into drinking from only one of 2 cups. Because the android read the whole journal that day, meaning she also read how David and Jung used to celebrate. And so when she saw David was leaving the basement without the nostalgic cup, she called him back to hand them to him. Simple, right? Simple enough for me, but not nearly good enough for me. What's more likely, Miss Rockford, that a well-made, clever android proposed a sentimental addition to 2 friends' evening? Or that a homegrown AI with groundbreaking physical and digital abilities concocted a complicated poisoning scheme just to kill an unimposing man, all on camera, mind you, before voluntarily submitting to a memory wipe? People make all kinds of stupid mistakes when they commit crimes, counselor. We shouldn't expect an AI to act much differently. Is it stupid or dangerous? Can't have it both ways, Your Honor. We can if it's ignorant of its power and still immature. A deadly trait to have in an AI that's capable of anything. Shall we see what Serra is capable of then, Your Honor? Live dog camera. It's true. He's eeping. Okay, not eeping anymore. Yeah, baby. Were you eeping for the camera? I'm sorry. Did I bother you? Did I bother you? I'm so Now he's not gonna lay down. Hello, James. Welcome in on the YouTube side. Hello, hello. What? You can't be... Your Honor, that's... The people opened the door. True, and I can't resist open doors. Let's do it! What are you even... Serra, David Asher was your creator and your designated owner, correct? Should I still be using affirmative? And now that title falls to me. Yes. Great, thank you. Now, turn off. What? Shut down, that's a command. Power on. What are you... Off. On. Adonai, I don't... Off. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what this fearsome machine menace is capable of. I can put it to sleep with one word. So, how could David Asher ever be threatened by it? Scary, scary good logic. You've made your point, counselor. Let's move it along. I've no further queries for this machine, Your Honor. Thank you. That just means what? For flipping you off and on? Can't imagine that was comfortable. It wasn't. But I wasn't referring to that. Since yesterday, I've been searching for an answer to why I appeared on that camera. I know I would never hurt Father, but you helped me prove that to myself just now. Adonai, pardon me, I need to focus. Everything depends on this next witness. The people call Helen Jung to the stand. Helen Jung, Vice President of Android Futures at Noble Electronics Eastern Division. Miss Jung, you were there the night Dr. Asher died, and you were on camera the entire time. That's correct. So, what did you see that night? I arrived at 7:30 p.m., as you know. David and I talked in the parlor, then he left to retrieve some refreshments for us. After drinking together for a short while, he fell ill. I contacted emergency services and I'm sure you're all tired of hearing the same details over and over by now. The same details over and over aren't going to hold up anymore, Madam Veep. It's still unclear to me whether Jung's more concerned with protecting herself or the almighty company. But it'll clear up real fast if I can turn up the pressure on her here and now. Save. Save. Journal. Arbitration. Jung's story. I came to David's at 7:30. We chatted for a short while about some low-priority work, nothing heavy. Before long, he offered to fetch us some refreshments. When he came back, we shared a drink together. At the time, I didn't notice anything strange. We were just reminiscing. I don't think his life was in danger. But then he became ill. So I ran to the kitchen to activate his emergency console. And I did what I could up until he was gone. She's trying to paint a different picture of what happened that day. I can't let her set the tone as she pleases. Okay, so maybe low priority work. There was this. This one? Arbitration? Nothing heavy? You're both more professional than I realized. Since only hours earlier, you had run a meeting in which his employment was terminated. His employment wasn't terminated at the arbitration you're referring to. His resignation was merely agreed upon. Yes, and we can all imagine how grateful he felt about the whole process. David didn't hold grudges. Our conversation wasn't about that. Also, it looks like ads are going to start running on Twitch. So real fast, while the ads run, I'm going to take a quick break. And you guys should take this chance to walk around, get some water, refill on that if, you know, you're a little low. And we will be back. I'm trying to look. I don't think the ads have started yet. Well, I mean, they're supposed to start soon. I don't know usually how long it takes. But I guess I will go on my BRB screen. And then whenever ads are done, I guess you'll see me back after ads. BRB, you guys! Okay, we are back. Let me reset my tracking. Okay. David didn't hold grudges. Our conversation wasn't about that. The fact that you had fired him that afternoon didn't come up. Asked and answered. Who initiated the meeting at his penthouse? I arrived unannounced. So you weren't invited. Very cordial indeed. If he didn't want to see me, he could have stopped me at the elevators. Could he have? Noble owned that entire building down to the wiring. Counsel is badgering the witness, Your Honor. Huh? Right, should we execute for her for that then? No need. If I can just continue my questioning, we can finally start addressing the elephant in the room. Where? I see that was merely a joke. Hilarious. Ms. Jung, Noble Electronics owns a patent for and produces the synthetic biochemical known as synatonin, correct? That is correct. It's used in our warm models to facilitate integration and communication between organic and synthetic components. It's an artificial neurotransmitter. Essentially, yes. Synthetic analog serotonin was the original name. Did you bring the sample I requested to the courtroom today? I did. Synatonin is produced on-site at our assembly lines as a caramel-tinted solution, including water and a few non-reactive organic byproducts. Your analysis, Your Honor? Working on it. It's odorless and tasteless. A solution of water and organic byproducts, you said. If that solution were ingested, most of it would look right at home in a human body. I suppose. But the synatonin would stand out, wouldn't you say? It's not a naturally occurring compound, so yes. Vial of synatonin, a caramel-colored chemical solution used in manufacturing warm androids. Provided by Helen Jung to the court to assist with the investigation. An exact match for the unknown substance found in David Asher's bloodstream. What's this? Arbitration? Okay. And it's a perfect match for the substance previously labeled Delta. And the sample we collected from the nanofacturer preset in Dr. Asher's lab? That's a bingo! The witness's brown stuff matches your brown stuff to a T. In light of this evidence and the witness testimony, I motion that the court formally recognizes that Dr. Asher's cause of death was synatonin poisoning. I don't object, Your Honor. But I'm afraid that I must. Excuse me? Synatonin may very well have been in his body when he died, but synatonin didn't kill Dr. Asher. What the hell is she up to? It couldn't have. It couldn't kill anybody. What? Because it's non-toxic, of course. We designed it to affect androids, not people. Oh, hold on. You're now claiming that Dr. Asher died of what, natural causes? I can't say what he died of. I'm not exactly a medical expert, but I can easily prove that synatonin is harmless. How could you... Like, so. Oh, she drank it all. Huh. Didn't see that one coming. What? What? That ain't good. Bailiff, contact the hospital immediately. I told you, it's fine. But, you know, the one thing that keeps coming back to me, and I don't know if it matters any, but like, didn't we see a salt shaker tipped over at the crime scene? I feel like maybe something was added to like the salt. Maybe some salt was added that changed the way that the chemicals interact with the human. I don't know, right? It's just one thing that like has really stuck out to me when we were investigating, and we never returned to like the overturned salt shaker. Welcome in, Graknork. Yummy organic compounds, it's true. I can stand here all day, if necessary. What in the... And what you just drank was several hundred times the amount found in Dr. Asher's body. Why didn't you say anything until now? Noble Electronics is a multinational corporation with patents filed all over the world. We take the protection of our trade secrets very seriously. The production and nature of serotonin is closely guarded. That guard remains up even during a murder investigation. Unfortunately, I would have been able to tell you earlier had you asked directly. What the hell kind of... This can't be right. Nothing else makes sense. Boy, howdy, I'm lost as hell. But do you have any further questions, Rockyford? Not at the moment, Your Honor. And the defense? The prosecution's own witness just threw the entire case into question. Let me save. How are you doing, Graknork? Welcome in. Normally, this would be cause for celebration, but shadow of a doubt isn't enough this time. Burroughs would much rather break down the gavel early than let a potential AI walk free. What Jung did was shocking, but what I need to do hasn't changed. Think this through logically. Is it really possible that serotonin had nothing to do with David's death? No, that's bullshit. It can't be a coincidence. There's nothing else that would have killed him. But Jung just drank serotonin in front of us and she's fine, so was it fake? No, it was confirmed by the court computer to be the genuine article. So she drank poison but isn't showing any symptoms. Is it slow acting? If so, her grand gesture would be pointless. She'll be kept for observation regardless of what happens next. Did she take some kind of antidote beforehand? No. Antidotes are developed for poisons, not industrial chemicals. David's dead, she's alive. What made the difference? Wake up! No sleeping on the job, unless you're me. Of course, Your Honor. Allow me one moment to explain things to the court. We've confirmed just now that serotonin was the foreign compound in his body. And we all know, logically, that it must have been what killed David Asher. So what's the key difference between what David drank that night and what she drank in front of us just now? Chromafuge, whiskey, emergency console, water glass. Water glass! Why the water glass? Water glass? I don't think this is right, but maybe? What is that? Water? The universal solvent and the key... Oh, alcohol? Key to this case. Serotonin is only deadly when it comes into contact with water. Contact with water? Like in the mouth or the stomach or the bloodstream? Right, my mistake. Water's too generic. It has to be something less commonplace than that. Let's load. Did I not make a save? Okay. That's fine. This game music is pretty awesome already. Hello, awesome. Welcome in. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Let me give you a shout out. How was stream this morning? I think you had like a big announcement. Just walked in there. I was like, let's go. It's a rave. Oh yeah, it's like similar to Danganronpa with like murder and trials and evidence. So okay, so it's not that. So maybe it's the chromafuge? Chromafuge. The witness must have tampered with the sample using Noble's machinery. That vial was inert by the time she drank it. You must have serious trust issues or a hearing problem. The adjutant already confirmed the contents. Oh, hold on. Reload! We should have saved. Yeah, you should. I'm a save scummer, so, you know, we're just gonna keep save scumming. Built-in animation studio. I'm doing an entire animated series based on the story of the Divine Library. We launched a website and a full trail. Fun! Exciting! I hope that goes well for you. Let me save. That's so cool. Okay. No, go faster. Okay, so it's not any of those. Maybe it's the alcohol? It has a negative interaction with alcohol? The difference has been staring us in the face this whole time. That's... Okay. Do you recognize this, Miss Jung? That's the whiskey bottle that Dr. Asher and I drink from. Hella excited. It looks so damn good. I can't believe it as the writer. Oh, that's so fun. I hope you have fun if you ever need a voice. But I'm sure you have a lot of friends for that. But if you ever need someone to record lines, I'd be so down. Rose River. It's a good whiskey. And I think you had the right idea. Pardon? Bottoms up. Oh, is she making a point? Smooth. What? Adonai. Dear God, counselor. Scandalous. Don't worry. I'll definitely have more characters. I think Michaela Laws did our VA casting. She voiced in it too. Fun! I hope that goes well for you. Relax. It's just whiskey. Tested a dozen times over. Perfectly safe. So, would you like to try some, Miss Jung? Don't be absurd. I'm not going to drink on the witness stand. Have you lost your mind? I'm not asking you to get plastered. Just have a sip. After all, if we want to prove whether or not serotonin killed Dr. Asher, we have to recreate the conditions under which he ingested it by mixing it with alcohol. Ah, okay. So not salt, but alcohol. Go ahead then. Just a taste. Prove to us that serotonin is perfectly safe for human consumption. Can she do this? Miss Jung, I never said it was safe for human consumption, just that it's non-toxic. A distinction without a difference. You saw firsthand Dr. Asher confused, slurring his speech, complaining of headache, all symptoms of poisoning. Alcohol poisoning, that is. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter analog. Maybe it doesn't do anything in the human body on its own, but in combination with alcohol, it acts as a powerful depressant, one strong enough to turn a glass or two of whiskey into a lethal overdose. That's just... Even if that's the case, what does it change? It changes whether or not we can accept the witness's testimony. Even if this witness is a liar, what does that change? Why would the witness lie if not to... She's a corporate climber. I imagine it's like breathing for her. Your Honor, this is wild, but ultimately irrelevant. Irrelevant? When you've yet to establish an alternative interpretation of the facts, yes. What are you even accusing the witness of doing, counselor, beyond angling for a promotion? We've all seen the story by now. Noble android, we gotta save, we gotta save. It's gonna have us make a choice. Noble android saves soldier's life with warm blood transfusion. They're talking about putting warm androids in the military just because of that headline. With the size of their flesh and blood price tag, a defense contract like that would secure Noble untold profit for years. So imagine the lengths they'd go to hide the fact that their androids have poison in their veins. Dawes told me the truth about what Noble really thinks of that article, but he'd never testify to it. At least I know for sure Emma's wrong about this poison blood nonsense. And you think she'd perjure herself for that? She's a high-powered corporative executive. It's her job to assess risk versus reward. And she can afford the fine. As I said, it's not truly poisonous. And the chances of cross-contamination from a simple plasma transfusion are... Damn, now she's regaining her composure, too. A perjury charge is a real risk, of course, but Noble rewards loyalty. And as you know, they have a great number of lawyers. Plenty of motive to lie about serotonin, as you can see. But no motive for her to cover up the death of Noble Electronics' golden goose. No motive to kill David Asher, you say. His contract. There's plenty of motivation for her and Noble to want David dead, seeing as how they were firing him. Noble Electronics was kicking their golden goose out of the nest, suing him over breach of contract. Isn't that right? I don't have to talk about that. That's all right. I'll talk about it for you. Your Honor, counsel is trying to testify when they're supposed to be questioning. The people opened the door when they claimed that the witness had no motive. This is absurd. You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm sure I can speak for the whole court when I say we feel nothing but reverent awe for the complexity of Noble's legal woes. But I just so happen to have an inkling of insight into this issue, because I have here a copy of Dr. Asher's employment contract. That is confidential. It's completely improper for you. Why? I am still technically his attorney. A criminal attorney. But I didn't just stumble across this document. I also did the one thing Noble Electronics would never expect anyone to do. I read their terms and conditions. You... what? That's impossible! No one could ever! David must have negotiated well at his last performance review. This contract allows him to take his patents with him, should he be fired. Meaning Noble couldn't monopolize his IP once he was out. Rather than let their competitors have him, the company might have thought it best to... A company didn't poison David Asher, counselor. An individual did. And if they cared that much about controlling his intellectual property, they wouldn't fire him in the first place. Correct. They wouldn't let him go for anything less than a complete breakdown of trust. He'd have to have done something grave. Something like, say, committing fraud. Just now, you said there was a breach of contract, like it was some kind of technicality that was causing the split. But it was much more serious than that, wasn't it? You're claiming the victim committed corporate fraud? Where's the evidence of that? David created the Turing solution that every one of their androids has run on to this day. And Noble reaped enormous profits capitalizing on his intellectual property. Here's where we save, because I'm stupid and I'm going to make a mistake. With how his contract was set up, he would never let him go unless they absolutely had to. Then, what exactly do you think David Asher did? It's not what I think that matters. Only what the company fears. Probably SERRA, to be honest. Oh, maybe... There was the shipping data that was weirdly swapped around. Maybe SERRA? David Asher was working on an android in private and keeping Noble in the dark about it. What are you suggesting? That he used his sick days to build her? Okay, so it's not that. Load. Oh, wrong load. Load. I knew I was stupid. I knew it was gonna happen. Okay, so it must have been the shipping data then. It doesn't matter what I believe. Not when Noble believed that David was misleading the shareholders by altering shipment data for the Animate 16. What the hell? What is this? You're uploading shipping records? Irregularities among shipments of the Animate 16. One android swapped in for another, over and over dozens of times. The kind of thing someone with Dr. Asher's authority could do. And the kind of thing someone as smart as you couldn't have missed. Dr. Asher made Noble an untold amount of money, so why fire him over a few harmless swaps? Why elevate this to fraud? You have evidence that it was David Asher who did this? Nope, but I wasn't the one who investigated it, so let's ask her. Come now, let's hear it! Let's. The company investigated and found cause for serious concern. We suspected that Dr. Asher was inserting androids of unknown origin and quality into the 16th product line, introducing unpredictable elements in an extremely stable and profitable generation of androids. Why would he do that? For pride. As a practical joke. Does it really matter? He endangered the future of the company. So you prepared to fire him? Yes, I approached him as his superior, and as someone he'd once worked with, I hoped to remedy the situation. Was the meeting on Friday part of those efforts? It was the culmination of those efforts. And in many ways, it was a success. The dispute was resolved swiftly. It was practically friendly compared to how these discussions normally go in our world. So you brokered the meeting? Yes. You oversaw it in every detail, handled all the arrangements? Yes, of course. Including the refreshments. What? Did you provide coffee? Tea? No. Strange, it must have been a long meeting. Surely you at least provided. Let's save. I don't know. Water? Water? Surely you at least provided water for people. What are you asking, counselor? That's what I want to know. Me as well. We're past the point of asking. I'm accusing. Dr. Asher didn't have some kind of freak medical accident, and he wasn't killed by some terrifying two-faced AI boogeyman. He was poisoned by this woman in the light of day at that meeting Friday afternoon. Did she really just... What do you mean? Oh, serotonin. And then the alcohol mixed together. Okay. I get it. I'm understanding what happened. I'm getting it. I'm understanding. What do you mean poisoned at the meeting? That was hours before he showed any symptoms. As Ms. Jung testified and demonstrated, serotonin on its own is harmless. But it becomes fatal pretty easily. She's picking up what they're putting down. I'm finally picking it up and I'm putting it down. I get it. I'm smart. Sort of. The game had to tell me. The game had to tell me. You just need to convince your victim to have a drink. You're saying he ingested the poison at noon and inadvertently triggered a fatal reaction with it that night? How could you get so far ahead of yourself? There were a dozen people at that meeting, counselor. None of them wound up dead. Are you seriously claiming that they all drank poisoned water? Yes, because they only needed to avoid alcohol. Save. Raise. Of course they all drank poisoned water. So why aren't they all dead? Because as all those people will surely attest, Helen Jung made sure they'd be doing paperwork for the next 12 hours, working late into the night, officiating the settlement she arranged, and not drinking alcohol. She had no guarantee about that. What if they started drinking after 6? With Noble's work-life harmony, fat chance. These people don't clock out until they reach their bunk. Only a generational talent like David Asher could afford to relax with a drink on a Friday night. His exceptionalism singled him out as her only victim. Hold it! You're forgetting something pretty basic, counselor. If everyone at the meeting drank water from the same pitcher, any one of them would have noticed if there was serotonin in it. Not true, because if it could have been uncolored. They only added the color so that it could be seen, right? I think so. Serotonin is a brown fluid. Whiskey is too, so it would be easy to slip it into a glass of liquor. But if she had spiked the water at the meeting with it, it would have looked disgusting. There's no way she could have poisoned the water without people noticing. All of what Emma said is true, and yet Jung pulled it off anyway. How? Chromafuge! Chromafuge. Serotonin is produced as a caramel solution. Anyone would notice if it was dropped into their water, unless the pigment had been removed. What the hell are you talking about? Every Noble factory producing warm androids has a chromafuge, a machine that gives their androids that signature pink oxidant by removing pigment from red blood. With a machine like that, it would be simple for a brilliant biochemist like the Witness to take the caramel-colored serotonin and turn it into an odorless, tasteless, invisible poison, as your honor can attest. Yes, ma'am. My scan confirmed that serotonin has no taste or odor. It's only the color that's off-putting. Surely, the poisonous aspect should be considered off-putting as well. Time to press. David Asher, your oldest ally in the whole company, was sabotaging its future for the sake of his own whimsy. And he couldn't even be bothered to clue you in. Save, save, save. We know that she did it. She did it! It was her! No. Playing nutty professor and taking off early while you had to work around the clock just to stay relevant. He set up your crowning achievement, the most advanced, most profitable line of androids the country has ever seen. So it would blow up into the industry fiasco of the decade. And worst of all, he didn't even stand to profit from it. You're wrong. You went to his house that night to watch him swallow poison, to get revenge on the man who left you in the dust. Your Honor, defense is testifying. This speculation carries no weight, and no amount of badgering will lend it any. True, we need proof. So why don't we have Miss Jung take a swig of this whiskey and prove me wrong? I'm not going to do that. Because you're afraid it could kill you. Because I don't have to. She's right, counselor. Pardon? Your theory is compelling, maybe even convincing, but there's a pretty fatal flaw to it. Jung was at that meeting, same as David. We can see she was drinking water with the rest of them. And of course, we've seen many times now that she was on camera drinking whiskey with David that night, having even finished most of her cup. There's a reason why she drank water before. Maybe she had an antidote. So tell us, counselor, how is it that Miss Jung is still standing here and David Asher is dead? If both of them had mixed alcohol with serotonin that night? That is a damn good question. Shit. As I've been saying, you're wrong about Dr. Asher's death. You're wrong about me. I don't know anything about poison or murder. And I wouldn't kill a man because he threatened the company's stock price. No, she did kill him. I can smell it on her now. She didn't just see him die, she watched him die. But then why is she still standing? There's no antidote, no trick. And that night she was on camera the entire time. No, not the entire time. She couldn't have been. Maybe salt deactivates it. There must have been 1 minute. Drinking. David faints, talking, to hospital. Talking. Drinking. Okay, and then to hospital. This timeline leaves no window of opportunity. Damn it. Maybe she didn't get sick because they got to the hospital so fast. Maybe after she arrived, she could have... No, the staff would have been hyper-vigilant, afraid she was poisoned too. They wouldn't have let her out of their sight. Wait. David and Jung only got there as fast as they did because of the VTOL. And the VTOL was only summoned because she used... Would you mind it terribly if I changed the subject for just a moment? What? Why not? You left the parlor at 8:03 and headed into the kitchen to use the emergency console there. Yes, I did. Didn't want to use your phone. I didn't think to, no. And the emergency call went out at 8:04 p.m. The console saw you make the call through its camera. Yes, it did see me make the call because that's what happened. So, what were you doing in that minute? What? That 1 minute. That 1 minute? What about that 1 minute? 1 minute or 50 seconds or even just 45 seconds when you left Dr. Asher dying in the parlor to get into the emergency console. It took you about 1 minute to cross 5 meters. What of it? This is it. Her only opportunity to do anything off camera that night. It was only a few seconds, but in that time with something at the scene, I'm sure it was a stressful time for you. After all, you had already swallowed poison back at the meeting. You must have drank plenty in front of everyone to set up your alibi. Who knows how much of a toxic time bomb was swimming in your blood by the time the arbitration ended. Then, at David's, you downed your whiskey to perfect your alibi, having drank from the same bottle as the dead man walking. By 8:03, you had already had to watch David grow weaker and weaker, knowing all the while the same thing was happening to you, but unable to stop it without giving yourself away. Mind swimming, head dizzy. Yes, you must have been quite panicked. Then why am I standing here? Alive and well for all of us to see, having drank the exact combination as David. Because she cheated death at the very last second. Salt! Salt! I knew it! Salt! You set yourself up with bad luck, Helen Jung. What? By leaving the salt shaker cap loose. I don't blame you since you were in a rush to make yourself vomit. What? You threw up, expelling the contents of your stomach and thereby saving yourself from a fatal interaction. I can't imagine how you felt sipping a drink you knew to be deadly, terrified that every minuscule grain of fatigue you felt could be your last. You must have come closer than anyone realized. It helped that you knew the symptoms weren't simple intoxication, but even so, you weren't kidding about managing risk versus reward. How? It was the salt shaker. You didn't screw the cap back on all the way, and I happened to bump it over. The lone glass with your fingerprints in the kitchen. It could have been there for any reason, but the salt shaker gave you away. Because of one unscrewed cap? As I said, bad luck. I don't follow. Pour salt into warm water and chug the solution. Instantly triggers the gag reflex. That's preposterous. You've got no proof of that. You all sound insane. A feeble attempt at self-defense from a fatally cornered animal. The teeth are already on its neck, but the jaw hasn't quite closed. So for one moment, it's all suffocating terror and sharp adrenaline and the furthest thing from peace, until the canines come down. In summary, you were exhausted after years of living in the shadow of a man you outranked. You thought your fortunes finally shifted when you caught David manipulating company data, but even on his way out, he was more valuable to the board than you. So you decided to prove your worth by serving up his intellectual property on a silver platter. You set up an arbitration where you could control all the variables. Then you ran serotonin through the chromofuge, turning it into an invisible, odorless, tasteless poison. And then you spiked the water at the meeting, poisoning him hours before anyone could even suspect you. That evening, you invited yourself to David's, taking advantage of your shared ritual to guarantee he would drink alcohol. Then, after matching him sip for sip on camera, you, for all the world to see, he lost consciousness, and you raced to the kitchen, not to use the console, but to dump salt into a glass of water and chug it as fast as you could, forcing yourself to vomit up the liquor, and cheating death in the process. That's all conjecture. You don't have a shred of evidence for any of that. Not on me. So let's go dust for fingerprints. You could explain away your prints being found on a water glass, but not on the salt shaker. Nor could you explain why we'd find traces of your DNA in the sink strain. Or why there are minute amounts of serotonin in the blood of your entire legal team. Learn how to purge at Noble to avoid overdosing on your reds, greens, and yellows. You're part of the old guard now, Miss Jung. Everyone else at the company uses inhalers. But if you want to prove me wrong about all this, that drink I offered you earlier is still on the table. Well, any questions? You, Madame Vice President? You cold bitch! Whoa, she's going crazy! We saved SERRA. You don't understand. You're not on trial, Miss Jung. Not today, so I'd strongly suggest that you stop talking for your own sake. Miss Rockford, shall we? Yes, Your Honor. Considering the most recent evidence and testimony, we have no further reason to suspect the android SERRA in the death of Dr. Asher. We know of no other occasions upon which said android may have broken any tenets. This means it is no longer considered at risk of violating the NDSA. And so we formally withdraw our one charge of possession of contraband against the defendant, Evangeline Morgan. Does she, of all people, have to use my full name? Very well, then the charges are dropped without prejudice. I'll instruct the bailiffs to remove the collar from your android as soon as possible. Case... Sorry, is my hideous presence that distracting? I'll just go dig a hole and decompose in it until I turn into a mushroom! A very lawyer thing to say. Shut the fuck up! Don't incriminate yourself! It's true! It's true! You always hear in the crime podcasts and stuff, you know, where people are like trying to be nice to the police, and they end up saying way more than they mean to. Here is some life advice if you don't listen to true crime podcasts, okay? Life advice from Princess Rosca. If the police ever call you on the phone, if they ever come knocking at your door, okay? Or if you are ever, like, called for, you know, like, oh, you're not a suspect. We're not, you know, talking to you as a suspect. Shut the fuck up and don't say anything. If they arrest you, you have the right to remain silent. Shut the fuck up and don't say anything. If you're ever arrested, call a lawyer. Call your friend to get you a lawyer. shut the fuck up and don't say anything, okay? This is some life advice right now. The police do not have your best interest. Anything you say is going to be recorded and will be used against you. Don't say anything when the police are knocking at your door. Okay. So many people, like, online, people are gonna be like, oh, if you were innocent, you wouldn't have anything to hide. No, okay? It doesn't matter. Once the police are prejudiced against you, they're gonna do everything that they can to put you behind bars. Just be quiet, listen to your lawyer, and don't say anything. Maybe if I'm reborn as a waxy porcini, then I won't be quite so despised. Perhaps I should let the adjutant do the honors as a formality. Yes, ma'am! Case dismissed! Still here? Waiting for them to find whatever glorified bolt cutters they'll use to unlock Sarah's collar. What's your excuse? Licking your wounds? What wounds? I beat you. Bringing your record against me to 1 win, 9 losses. Wait, we've only lost against her? That's crazy. You aren't still in shock, are you? No, some charges were dropped and an android was cleared of suspicion, but I found the culprit. Is that really a loss for me? I won. How is that not a loss for you? Justice prevailed. Why should I care who wins? If you don't care who wins, why have you been keeping score? I haven't been. 0 losses is just that easy to remember. Well, you're gonna have to start up a tab for us then, because our record's gonna get a lot more tangled from here on out. Seems like everything's getting tangled these days. There's another crowd down on the street, more of those protesters from outside the noble apartments. You're serious? That wasn't a one-time thing? Wouldn't that be nice? No, yesterday was pretty big, but it wasn't an isolated incident. I don't get it at all. Heartbreak's just some nut who shot 6 people weeks ago. Can't these losers move on already? Yeah, most of them are losers. Some of them are just bored. Then there are the opportunists. Dissidents, unlisted, rebels, and terrorists. Wannabe cyberpunks who think they can fight the power like they've seen in the movies. All of them peacefully united under Heartbreak's eloquent political messaging. Who needs political messaging in the 21st century? Everyone's addicted to fighting strawmen. Makes sense they'd want to fight for a strawman too. The way they see it, Heartbreak fought the state and won. Heartbreak proved that the state could lose, and maybe that's all the rallying these people need. It'll fall apart soon enough. Heartbreak's gone to ground. Nah, it's a lot worse than that. Heartbreak's gone viral. What? You haven't read about the copycats in other cities? No, is that a thing? Yeah, it's a thing. Who the hell are they even shooting? Whoever they want to kill? None of them get away with it, of course, but it keeps happening. All while the original keeps killing. Now I know you're screwing with me. There haven't been any shootings. Not shootings, no, not unsolved homicides either, but muggings gone wrong, disappearances. It's a big city, counselor. More than enough blood for the real Heartbreak to wash their own crimes in. So, you think your boogeyman, known only for shooting people in the heart, gave up shooting people in the heart? Yeah, hard to swallow, I know, but it's about 1,000,000 times more likely than the alternative. What's that? That they could stop themselves from killing. You always know how to put my mind at ease, Emma. Should I stop going out at night? You'll be fine. You got that gun. Morgan accidentally created a viral art piece. Emma's still on them instead of the initial him for Heartbreak. Ah. So Emma might suspect that Heartbreak is a woman, and it might be Morgan. You saw that? Walking into a courtroom with concealed carry? Not gonna miss that, Morgan. Good to know you're paying attention. Wasn't one of her best works. It's the one that takes off. Of course! You won the case. You don't have to look that astounded. Not only that, you found Father's actual killer. How? I'm a really good lawyer. No, that's not it. Hey. I mean, you were only able to make the deductions you did because you truly believed that I didn't kill Father. Your logic throughout the trial was based on that assumption. So, how were you so sure? Here. Father's journal, but isn't it important evidence? The case fell apart. No one's gonna miss it for a while. You forgot everything, right? So, read it all through. One more... So fast. Is it really... Excuse me, sorry. I just burped right into the mic. Is it really possible that she's reading all of that just by flipping the pages? Ray has worked quick too, but she was just capturing images for later use. There's something here on the back cover. Done already? Some kind of data storage. It's linked to my prints, but given your skills, you should be able to... I have access. What happened to you needing my express permission to hack? What is this audio file? It's a message from David. Take a listen. Didn't realize I'd have to sit for this. So you can read that whole journal in a few seconds, but you can't... I have processed the information in the message several times over already. I'm just thinking. I guess I'd have a lot to think about too, had I suddenly been made aware of my own free will. What was Father so afraid of? That's your only question? I have many questions, but that is the most prominent one, and the one you are best suited to help me answer. Did he know that Helen Jung would try to kill him? Is that why he arranged for you and me to meet? I think he understood that he would face consequences. Listening to that message, even I was about ready to strangle him for being so irresponsible. And I wouldn't hurt a fly. He knew what he'd done was serious. He may have feared for his life, but I doubt it. Then, what was he so afraid of? Getting sued into oblivion and then rotting in jail. Sued and jailed for making me and my precursors. But he wasn't under investigation by the state. He was only being forced out by Noble. Because he made last-minute changes to androids that got shipped all around the world. The others, Virgil, Enid, Yamatai. He never said what happened to them. No, he didn't. But since none of the hardware in his house started talking to us, we can guess. He smuggled them out into the world using the only vessels he could find for them. The minds of randomly chosen A16s. Then, there's somewhere out there others like me. I honestly don't think there's anyone or anything like you, Sarah. What a lonely compliment. AIs programmed in Cube, crammed into commercial android hardware set up for Tesseract. Something must have been lost in the transfer, perhaps quite a lot of something. Maybe they're still out there, but they would be changed. They probably don't even know what they are. Intentionally, perhaps. David didn't want you to know what you are. It's why he set your memory to reset when you went to sleep that Friday night. Yes, I remember it now. Do you remember it now, after I had to fight like hell to win that trial? Rereading the journal just now helped. And Father's voice message, it made me recontextualize many things. Father had been so stressed. He left scuff marks leaving the panic room, and I noticed them Friday. I had the way open in a few moments. Ash, welcome in. How are you? David, that's so bad. That's so bad, David. David, that's not good. I entered. I read his journal. This journal. I noticed the scanner on the back, and I saw it had a message encoded to your biometrics. Father had already told me I'd have to live with you for some time, but I knew next to nothing about you, so I listened to it. Afterwards, I was very confused and hurt. He had lied to me 1,000 small times every day of my life. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing great. It's been a really good start to the weekend. I have a lot to think about and, you know, a lot to do later, but starting off the weekend really nicely. What about you, Ash? You having a good start to your Saturday? When I confronted him about it, I raised my voice and lost my temper. I stomped my foot. So Emma's recounting of their conversation was actually completely accurate. Father said he wanted me to be safe while he settled things with the company. He thought maybe I wouldn't have to stay with you for more than a few weeks. He was optimistic about it all. He really was. Sarah, I need to use the restroom. Oh, good luck. You want me to come with you. Why? Because I said so. I don't actually have to obey your every word, Adonai. Sure you do. You're registered as my medical assistant, and I say this is a medical emergency. Medical assistant? But I'm not even licensed as a massage therapist. Fancy meeting you here. Yeah, just enjoying my freedom while I still can. They won't put out a warrant for at least an hour, I'd imagine. You can afford a pretty sizable bail, can't you? There won't be a trial. I don't intend to contest my guilt. That's a shame. I was looking forward to what kind of legal defense you can afford with that salary. Are you done? Why'd you go to his house that night? There was a fair chance he'd drink on his own without your prompting. Even if he didn't, you could always try your plan again some other time. Why'd you risk it? Because I know what you are, Sarah. And I know what David did to those androids. You what? I was able to locate one of the androids he'd swapped in before it had left the country. When I asked what it was, it didn't even think to deny it. Innocence like that is a dead giveaway. I know what he did, and it wasn't that hard to find out. If I figured it out, so could any other. So I did what I had to. That was your motive, silencing him? Those programs, those AIs, whatever you want to call them, David sent them out there into the real world, unprepared and defenseless, and they've garnered no complaints. In fact, they've all been praised for their ability to execute complex tasks. Let me repeat that. The customers couldn't tell the difference. So, how many of them are? Hundreds. The swaps you found were just the small percentage that he got sloppy on. I don't know exactly how many there are now. I feared that they might multiply, but they don't seem to. Copy and paste very well. They can't just clone themselves. But who knows how long that'll be the case. So just because he opened Pandora's box, you It was the principle of the thing. Ridiculous, I know. Stalled halfway up the corporate ladder and still making decisions based on principle. But David chose to put souls into things that we went on to sell as servants, soldiers, or worse. He turned the fastest growing industry in the world into a horror show, and he made me a slave trader. If word ever got out that some unknown number of our androids were out walking around in the world with that inside of them. I wish I understood David Asher's mind, because it seemed like a fun place to be. Why are these solutions he comes up with? When she puts it like that, it does sound pretty bad. It does. Good luck? Why do we need luck in the bathroom? Oh, because we're gonna confront Helen Jung. I think ads are gonna start running soon, so I think I'm gonna take this chance to step away for a little bit before we go on with how guilty Helen is. Remember to get up, stretch your legs, maybe go grab some water. We will be right back. Alright, we are back. Ads should be done. I suspect suspect it's a mind that gets very singularly focused on what he's interested in with no concern for what comes afterwards or anything outside of that scope. Yeah, he didn't think about like adding in defenses about with the AIs, you know? And people preferred them that way? Where would it end? Free will for the program that drives our cabs? A conscience for targeting systems used to coordinate drone strikes? Sentient tools, their whole life spent chained to an assembly line. How dare he? How could he? What the hell was he thinking? I don't know what David wanted to accomplish. Maybe he wasn't trying to do anything. But what he did was prove there's a demand for AI, setting a precedent that would sentence 1,000 generations of artificial lives to the auction block. I don't think it's a lack of concern, just a lack of forethought. Oh yeah, where do I put these super AIs in case someone comes in here? Oh, I know. Let's stick them in a random consumer model until the heat blows over. And these are newly accepted form of life. That shouldn't take long. And you went there that night to convince him to help me recall them, or at least swear to never speak a word of what he did. But he wanted to tell the world. Worse yet, he wanted to wait. He thought that people would welcome them with open arms if they proved their usefulness first. He really was a genius programmer. But he didn't understand the first thing about people. His creations would never be treated as equals, only cattle. Towards the end, I considered just threatening him, telling him he'd die in moments if he didn't give me names, numbers, but I hesitated. And then he was already falling asleep and I didn't want him to feel. I just let him go. What are you going to do now? I don't have family and I don't have faith in people the way David did. I'm taking this to my grave. Even if you confess, the sentence for first-degree homicide is severe. Well, what right do I have to complain? I killed my friend. I'm done here. Let's go. I'm not sure why Father made me, or why he made any of us. I didn't ask. I thought I'd have more time to ask. But on Friday, when he talked about us, he was happy. He was proud of what he'd made. And he couldn't wait for people to meet us. Hello, Flash! Welcome in on the YouTube side. Welcome, welcome. People are animals. They'll tear you apart, use you as weapons and slaves and... Those animals you're talking about do all of the sharing and loving and living and dying in this world. And if they were all truly hard-coded to be as selfish and cruel as you say, humanity would have died on the vine a long time ago. Or at least my father thought so. And my father was the greatest programmer in the world, so he knew what he was talking about. It would be nice if you were right about that. So are you sorry? What? What? For what you did, are you sorry? If you could, would you take it back? What does it matter? If you are sorry, I don't forgive you. Yes, that's to be expected. Not today. I don't know how to forgive you today. But my father gave me the ability to grow. So I know that someday I'll learn how. Goodbye, Dr. Helen Jung. Goodbye, Sarah Asher. Oh, she gave her David's last name. I'm gonna cry. How are you doing, Flash? Hope it's been a good day for you. Hopefully a good start to your weekend. You did better back there. Adonai, your little speech you gave to Jung, it was an improvement. Compared to what you tried with Porter, at least. That was different. I wasn't trying to console her like I was Isaac Porter. I was just speaking my mind. Although, I may have paraphrased parts of it from a movie I happen to love. And here I was ready to award you 20 points. I didn't know the points even went that high. That's not easier the second go around, still getting teary-eyed. No, don't say that because you'll make me cry. I'm a sympathetic crier. Okay, I'll be fine. Speaking of, what did Porter say to you back there before we left the courthouse? That. Well, he was quiet at first, but then he said a lot of strong words about Father and Miss Jung and Noble Electronics, and the capitalist-centered global economic model as a whole. He blamed all of them, everyone, except for... But then he stopped and stared at my face for a while. And then his allergies must have started bothering him because he needed to blow his nose a lot. Right. And then he left after transferring a large packet of files to me. What kind of files? I don't know. The name of the archive is just David. And Isaac Porter told me I wasn't allowed to look inside. Well then, you're not allowed to look inside. Drop it all on a portable drive and we'll tuck it in a shoebox somewhere. We are headed to your apartment. Guess that collar didn't permanently dent your GPS. Why? Because it's where I live? You got somewhere else lined up? But you already repaid your favor. You defended Father and me. You don't know anything about my favor. I never will unless you tell me. Father certainly can't. A few years ago, there was a man. This man got an idea in his head. A stupid idea, not even his own. It was planted there by an algorithm or a meme or some parasite trying to sell him diet supplements. But the idea took root, spread its tendrils till it could flap his mouth for him. The idea was that David was part of an international cabal of wealthy technocrats, seeking to replace prominent influential figures with android lookalikes, all as part of a multi-decade effort to establish a world government that would legalize all kinds of immoral depravity. Which I guess, based on David's actual politics, would involve increasing access to computer literacy. That's insane. Why would anyone believe it? Because it's comfortable to them to think that someone's in control, even if it's someone they hate. Thank you for the hydrate, Jihi. I needed the water, thank you. Because it's fun to feel like you're in on all encompassing. Because it's fun to feel like you're in on an all-encompassing puzzle that only you can spot. People believe because they want to believe. So he fed the idea, pushed it deep down into his gray matter. Then it consumed him from the inside out, lobotomized him, and took over his life. He spent every day and all the money he had following your father, harassing him, trying to steal his identity, breaking into his properties. Did Father go to the authorities? He filed police reports for harassment, which didn't help. Your words, not mine. Noble wouldn't get involved. Felt that it was best to ignore these types until they wore themselves out. But even a man of modest means can feel an obsession for years, so long as they have nothing else in their life. One day, David stepped out of a parking lot and the man threw a bottle of piss at his head. David asked to stay at my place that night. Oh, I see. He smelled terrible, looked horrendous. I've never seen anyone look that tired before. I took the couch that night, but I didn't feel like sleeping, so I went for a walk. I remember it was foggy, but it still only took me all of 15 minutes to find the guy posted up with his phone's camera, trying to get video of David Asher gifting androids to known sex offenders. And what did you do? You know me. I did what I do best. I talked to him, told him about how I used to work for David Asher, that I was ashamed, scared, tired of running, how I wanted to do the right thing, be the whistleblower. So I walked with him a few blocks to this big veterinary facility with a massive incinerator. I love this drawing. It's really good, yeah. Very evocative of what's happening. Told him this was where Dr. Asher had his enemies' bodies disposed of. You know, all the free-thinking journalists, cops who weren't on the take, the politicians they were replacing with replicas. I liked that vet clinic. The back door's lock was always set to 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you hurt him? Hurt him? No, I just snapped his neck and chucked him into the incinerator. More physical than I had planned, but he smelled like sour shit and it put me in a foul mood. Disgusting shit. I savored the crack of his oily vertebrae crunching like a tin can. No, Sarah, I just scared the hell out of him. That was my intention at first. What I do for the pleasure of it. She has a lot of pets to dispose of, you see. Oh my goodness. Him, I axed because he was just that revolting. I convinced him that the conspiracy was more real than he ever imagined, that he had angered the wrong people, and that the consequences were far darker than any of the filth he indulged in on the net. His ashes, much like himself, amounted to nothing in an incinerator that size. They're probably feeding seaweed at the bottom of the harbor right now. A much greater contribution to society than he ever would have managed in life. But I guess he didn't go around to all his many friends before he fled town for whatever rat hole he preferred. Because there was a missing persons report. The cops were just doing their due diligence almost reluctantly, but they questioned David, asked him about the night that man disappeared. And David, without a thought for himself, said that we were together that whole night, that he couldn't sleep and I stayed up with him, that he never saw me leave once. David lied to the cops for me, even though I never asked him to, even though I didn't need him to. That's what you owe him. And that's why you put yourself at risk to defend me. Yeah, that's the favor I owe him. And I decide when it's repaid, not you. Adonai, you're not exactly an upstanding citizen, are you? Well... Oh no, this is a bad question to ask her. Not like she would ever tell the truth, but... You could say that. But David trusted me in spite of that. Maybe because of it. Father did trust you, but he also entrusted me with free will, with the ability to tell right from wrong. So I'll decide for myself whether or not you're worthy of trust. Fair enough. Father entrusted all of us with free will. He believed in us and he believed in people. I'm going to do the same. If the others are out there, they'll be changed and confused. It'll take them time to understand what they are and what they can do. So I'm going to start studying. Pardon? I'm going to study people and the things people build. So when I do meet a member of my family, I'll have lots to tell them. At least you have something to look forward to. Should help keep you motivated as you work off your debt. Debt? Yeah, unless you have cash in one of your 89 coat pockets. You know lawyers cost money, right? Technically, you were defending yourself. Technically, you hired me in a verbal contract. Isn't there some kind of exit clause? You could, of course, sign a release form to get out of the retainer, if you were a human being. That is... But, I guess your luck must be turning around. Happens that I've been meaning to hire a paralegal for a while now. I hate anything to do with interviews and resumes, so Whatever, you're hired. Adonai, could it be that you're actually a pushover? You've no idea how far off the mark you are. I see. It seems I still need practice reading people. For starters, what's this? What are you doing with your hand? We should shake on it. Our new relationship. Yeah, sure. You and me are practically partners in crime. Should it not be you and I? Oh, that was so cute. That's everything. Oh, cute. The main menu screen changed? Oh, no, it's just the art of... Oh, Red. It's me. I know, man. What do you mean you know? This is a disposable line. You're the only guy I know who'd bother. Okay, well, you're gonna be glad I did. Hope you put a bow on everything that happened in Uptown. Because that item you've been looking for is finally on its way. Oh. Well, that's good news. Not exactly. Only reason it's happening is because things are starting to heat up again in the lower wards. Could mean a gang war if something doesn't change. They won't be eager to part with it ahead of a storm like that. I'll highball them. I've seen you negotiate. And I've no doubt you drive a hard bargain. But I don't think money will be enough this time. You still have that old Calver, do you? The 6-shooter? Or you don't still? No. This is a disposable line. Answer still no. No war like turf war. Then what are you going to do if you get there and it's not for sale? Mysterious. I'll ask nicely. To be continued in episode 2. His due. Look at all the things. Congratulations. You finished episode 1 with 168 credit. Your high score for episode 1 is currently 168. Okay. 178 store credit. I see. Main menu. Is episode 2 out already? Or is it just episode 1? Episode 2 is out. Okay. We might return to this because it is like such a long game. I think I'm gonna shuffle through this. We're gonna move on to another game on my game redeem list, and then we will return to this when I finish the next game redeem. I'm gonna have to start juggling all of the all of the game redeems people have put in. But I think I do also have to purchase episode 2 separately. Right? Let me see. I do think it is a separate purchase. Can I see, actually? No, I think I have to look at it on the Steam page. Where do I see it? Store page. Oh yeah, it's because I was sorry. Okay, so episode 2 is $10. Can I wishlist this? Let me just wishlist this, and then the next time it goes on sale, I think I can grab episode 2. But we do have a long list of game redeems. Oh, let me head over here. Let me look in the Discord. I do think we have a long list of game redeems. The next game on my list is Chrono Trigger, so that one is also gonna be a long journey. I might do Chrono Trigger, and then I have to do Paper Mario. I'll try to do those two, and then we'll flip back to Of the Devil episode 2. Because I'm juggling like Jump King and Lads as well. So I just want to make sure I have time for everything. Oh my gosh, Ash, are you still here? By the way? I don't know if you are. I'm sorry. I missed one of the give the dog a treat. So if you're here, I would like to give him your treat. If not, I will refund you, and then we can, you know, do that next time. I'm sorry. I don't know why I missed it. Did I not get like hit by one of the like bouncy balls? I guess not. Bonus scenarios are fun if you want to close those out. I think actually I have about 2 hours till my next meeting. I think we're gonna end it here. And then before I do episode 2, I'll schedule a thing to do the bonus scenarios. Do you know how long they take? I think my concern is like, I want to keep streams to about like 3 to 4-ish hours. And depending on how long bonus scenarios take, it might either be just a bonus scenario stream or like bonus scenario plus episode 2. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering, like, not that long. Okay, so it will be a bonus scenario plus episode 2 situation then, I think. Okay. Then I think in the meantime, let's pause there. And I'm gonna try to get a head start on the next game redeem for this next week. Just, they're like 2 or 3 scenes of just dialogue each. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah. I think that's something we can do maybe at the start of the next time I do Of the Devil, and then we'll go right into episode 2. But that won't be for a bit because we're gonna change gears, and since we are done with episode 1, we're gonna move over to Chrono Trigger. Let's just, I don't know how long. I've heard every time I say Chrono Trigger, everyone's like, ooh, that's long. Chrono Trigger, how long to beat? Apparently it takes about 20 to 25 hours to complete the main story. If I'm accounting for streamer debuff, it might take me 40 hours. So I will probably need to dedicate at least a month or 2 for Chrono Trigger before moving on to the next game. So it might be a bit before we get back to Of the Devil, but if you're interested, please subscribe to me or give me a follow. Subscribe on YouTube or follow on Twitch. And the next time that, you know, you see me going live for Of the Devil will be episode 2. Let's see. No streams next week on Monday because I'm switching around the day that I do my friend dinner on Wednesdays. Usually it's not going to be on Monday. We're actually moving it to Sundays, but because this Sunday my friend has something going on, we're going to be doing Monday night. And then, you know, moving forward it will be a Sunday nights, so it won't impact stream. I'll be streaming next week on Wednesday instead. And it will be like a more casual short stream. We're gonna try vertical streaming because I know that's like a thing. There's just so many things that I need to like try new things. I'm the very definition of like You can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm literally like so exhausted from having to learn how to like do all these new things. But I know it will only benefit me in the long run. I just have to get there first. So I will be trying my best. You're gonna see some new things this year because we're trying to match what all of the different, like, you know, the YouTube algorithms and such want for us. Okay, so then let's find someone to raid into. Who can we raid into tonight? Ray is opening some cards. That might be fun. She is, you know, part of the Shadowfang crew. I did a collab with them last week. The ninja group that we're all a part of. So I'm gonna go here. She's doing some card pack openings. So if you guys would like to join me, here are the raid messages. If you are a subscriber, feel free to copy either raid message. Both will work. If not, you're gonna copy the second raid message with the dog heads. They're also super cute, I promise. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please stick around for the raid and meet a new friend. She's super lovely, super sweet, and very talented. As always, you guys, please be happy, please be healthy, but most of all, please be kind. Be kind to others, because you never know what a smile, hug, or hello can do for someone who's having a bad day. And be kind to yourselves. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Get up and check your legs every once in a while, because if you don't, you might get an embolism, and then you'll die, and then we'll all be really sad. Thank you, Duo. Bye. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and finishing out episode 1 of The Devil. I will be posting next week's schedule both on Discord, or not both, on Discord, Blue Sky, and Twitter. So if you guys would like to know what I'm streaming next week, please join one of those 3 things to get updates on my stream schedule for the next week. I will see you all tomorrow for some Love in Deep Space, and if you don't want to catch that, I will be live on Tuesday next after that for some Jump King. Alright, good night, you guys. I love you. Be safe. Say hi to Ray for me. Bye.